This episode of the ECWM podcast has been brought to you by Benelli. Dominate the skies.
Kent Cartridge, Canada. High quality, high performance shotgun shells for waterfowl, turkey, upland, sporting clays, and more.
Sitka, turning clothing into gear.
Maritime dog training, because I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Offering obedience training of all levels, service dog and retriever training in person or online.
Big Owl decoys, high quality silhouettes and accessories for waterfowl, turkey, and sandhill cranes.
East Coast Calls, offering high quality duck, goose, and turkey calls built right here in the Maritimes. Welcome to the Waterfowl East podcast.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Good evening.
Get Wesley here.
Matthew.
Rowan. And Steven.
Julien.
Julien. Don't look at me like that while that song plays.
I'm just really eating this up right now.
How's you going, boys?
Pretty good. What's new and exciting, Julien?
Probably going to get dinged for playing them.
Oh, probably copyright infringement.
Oh, yeah.
But yes. Maybe not where we're talking over enough, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good jam, though,
Remixed.
boys. Yeah. Summer breeze as it's blowing 20 outside and snowing.
What are you drinking there, Matt?
I got a coffee, actually.
Nice.
A big gulp.
Big gulp of coffee. Steve, what are you into?
I am into a Moose Light.
Ooh.
Nice, cold, refreshing.
Barley sandwich?
I have one of those. I've yet to open it, though. You'll know when it happens.
Rowan, you just swallowing your spit?
Yeah.
Would you like a drink, son?
What are you drinking, Julien?
Nothing.
Breast milk?
Nothing. Nada. I wish.
I'm hard on the vodka and an Algene. It's actually moonshine.
Yeah.
Made by Ben Cummings.
Yeah. I was looking at that in the cupboard the other day.
Man, his stuff is rank.
Yeah.
Good
Holy.
Yeah, it's good.
We went down and tried some of his friggin' homegrown moonshine.
Here, Steve, put that back in there for now.
And it is wild.
Appreciate it, though.
Like, shot make you buzz. It's friggin' how what was the strongest stuff? 100 and something?
I don't know. It was good, though. That's the stuff I like. Yeah, you know.
Reminds
like-
you not to drink too much.
That's right.
I like to throw that in my skidoo and make it go fast.
Yeah. I can throw that in my airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She was wild stuff.
In my ski-doo.
It worked good.
Julian's triggered. He's more French.
Yeah.
He's more French than you are.
Are you more French than me, Julien?
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't know.
what do you
Probably.
mean? What do you mean you don't think
Listen
so?
to
You-
her talk.
Yeah, you.
Well,
Well, just because I can speak French don't
Yeah.
mean I've got more French in me.
Is
Just
your-
because
Oh,
Wesley's dumb and can't speak it don't mean he's not French.
Is your mother French?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
They
then
also-
you're definitely more French.
They all speak French to one another. It's crazy, but they don't have a French accent whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like they don't speak like New Brunswickers speak
No,
French.
my dad though, he doesn't
Wow,
have an
we're-
accent at all.
It's like code when
Yeah.
Julian's
Ours is
speaking.
more washed out, more English you put into it than
it's
like up in
it's
New
its own.
Brunswick.
It's achy honky donk on dire to go.
Honky sit Congo, it there to go.
Yeah, that's just a lot of swearing,
Beat that.
basically.
It's your own kind of language.
Yeah, swearing with a few French words mixed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on.
What's new and exciting, Julien? We haven't talked to you for a while.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, not much. Lobstering.
Yes, sir.
Water a lot.
You catching any big homards?
No, it's been probably the worst season in
Damn.
books, probably.
Oh, really?
It's been oh yeah, it's been awful.
Now, Julian,
Yeah.
tell him the truth about what I did for you this year, and you
Oh, yeah,
finally
Matt.
listened.
Matt friggin' drew us a map, and we went there. Sure enough, struck him.
Really?
Struck him. Yeah.
I told him
Probably
Said-
just drew a big wiener out in the water.
Pretty
Said,
much.
go to the tip.
Basically what he did.
pretty
That's what the that's basically what it was. Yeah.
You see that valley? You see that valley over there, Julien, by the tip of it?
Yeah.
That's where they are.
Right on the tip.
It's Lieutenant Dan.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forrest Gump. That's where we'll find him over there, boys.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of
Now
too
it's been
bad.
tough.
Yeah.
It's been a tough season. But,
Yeah.
oh, well. Take good with the bad.
That's right. Nothing you can do about it.
Well, it's a gamble, right? It's a stock market.
Yeah.
You know, what you catch will be worth money anyways. Should be.
Oh, well, they're $14 a pound right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wharf price.
That's a lot of money.
that is.
And that's
Yeah.
wharf price, too. That's not even market, like store price.
No, you guys be
Jeez.
paying for 25.
Holy frig. That's
Way
crazy.
down Woodstock where the potatoes grow.
Yeah, friggin' gold bars floating around in the Sobeys aquarium there.
Yeah.
That'll be the
basically.
next thing the meth head steals, lobster. They'll be running into Sobeys and busting the tank out and taking all the lobsters.
That'd be worth it.
Yeah.
If they had a buyer.
A lobster bootlegger in Woodstock so we can buy meth.
Yep, lots of it around.
What have you been up to, Steve, speaking of meth? Not that you look like a meth head or anything, but
Just working. Got a new job at the ski hill doing ski patrol for the winter to give me some more hours. And
Just
How do you like
picture,
that?
Just picture him going
I
down
love
the
it.
hill, Julien, in a one-piece, skin-tight,
Oh, yeah.
leather suit.
oh,
old Steve's got the OG Tech 9 rigging.
Yeah.
That's like the gangster snowboard gear.
I got Helly
back in
Hansen,
the
like
day.
my Helly Hansen first aid gear, but yeah, I've also got my snowboarding gear I wear.
Your Tech 9.
Yeah, I don't even think they make it anymore.
That tall tees, Steve's.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's been
So you're
fun
not
though.
working at the chip place no more, Steve?
I am just 4 days a week.
I
Trying to
know.
keep myself. From
So
getting
what's
fat.
going on there anyway? I've heard so many different stories of why they're slow.
We
What's the
couldn't
truth?
grow enough potatoes this year. The potatoes that did grow didn't produce enough, and they just had to cut contracts back.
Mm.
Yeah, bad potato year. Apparently, if you dig them when they're wet, they will rot in the houses, storage bins.
No way.
Yeah, there's a
imagine.
lot. The boys are having a hard
Yeah.
time keeping them, I guess.
There was nothing they could do. They had to dig them when they could dig them because it rained for months straight.
Oh, it was awful this fall.
Yeah.
So
Have they laid off a bunch of people too?
yeah, they're down. They've shifted a bunch to day shift and then laid a bunch off on the other shifts. And,
That's too bad, eh? Because that's those are good paying jobs for
Yeah.
around here, you know.
yeah, and there's
Yeah.
usually 200 or 300 of them. That's a big for them to slash. Say, I don't know how many they did, but even 50 or 100, that's quite a few families.
Yeah, I mean it's union. They pay decent as far as just a normal old job goes around here. So
Yeah.
it's too bad to see a lot of people around here are already hard up. So
Yeah, so I just figured rather than wait around for that place, I'd find something to do the other 2 or 3 days a week. And
really, you didn't want to just sit around and do nothing, Steve.
yeah,
That shocks me.
yeah.
You could have
Not
gotten.
even a little.
I get
Look, I'm sure that you could have gotten welfare or some other program.
yeah, applied for EI.
Yeah.
Probably had to pay that all back though.
Guaranteed. Follow like you
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Go be the cheese sprinkler, at the river or something.
No, I had to do something I enjoyed.
I can top 6 pizzas at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Frig. Well, no, that'd be fun. I've always thought being a ski patrol would be a fun way to get paid anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you see some stuff.
You see
Man.
anything gross yet?
A lot
Crazy?
of gross stuff. It's like a war zone there.
It's bad,
You'd
isn't
think
it?
there was like mass shooting some days. The bodies that are just on the hill everywhere. You get back from one call and there's 2 more waiting. And
What's the worst injury you've seen?
the one I've seen so far are just broken knees.
Broken knees.
Yeah.
So what happened
Yeah, I've
there?
seen a broken knee. Just a girl went off into the woods, hit a tree. She never skied before, and
What? Like, how do you get on a great big hill?
most people,
you've
I'd
never
say
skied.
90, maybe even 95% of the accidents, people don't take lessons. They've never done it before, and they just go down the hill because they see a little 4-year-old kid doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have no fear, and they've
Never
they see
taken
Steve
lessons.
doing it.
almost every time.
And the
Yeah,
worst,
we asked.
worst thing is they freaking panic.
Yeah.
Like I said, I caught a girl a couple years ago on Dave's Dream. We'd been teaching her how to ski on the bunny hill, and she was doing good, but she hit you go down the flat part and then take that left-hander where it gets steeper.
Yeah.
Well, she panicked, and she was like headed straight
Yeah.
for the woods, and I'm like, I drilled it in her head over and over. If you get out of control, just flop over on your side.
A lot
It's
better than
it's
hitting the
better than hitting a friggin' 16-inch maple.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I was hollering at her. She's going straight, just panic, like, and I'm like, lay down, fall over, and she friggin' hit me, and it was like, I just caught her. Her one ski went between my legs, and the other one at the other side, and it was just like, poof, and it was just like slow motion.
Crazy.
Boom.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
all
there's a lot of
over my
accidents,
back.
broken collarbones and all kinds
Yeah.
of goodies.
I mean,
broken pelvis already once, I guess.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Broken pelvis.
She didn't even know. Got on the snowmobile because she broke her collarbone too, and drove her to the top with the sling on. Ambulance checked her out, and she went to the hospital later that night and found out she had a broken pelvis.
Ouch.
You would
Didn't
think
even
that
know.
the friggin' that would just live there.
Yeah, some days it does.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys almost need an ambulance base right there.
Oh, it's bad.
But I'm all ready for this year guide, and if anybody decides to throw a knee out or
Oh, frig, don't say that.
shoot a hole in their foot,
With a recurve, that'd be
Yeah.
kind of hard.
yeah, follow to a
Yeah,
tree
let-
stand,
oh.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, frig.
You are safe in my hands.
When I worked
That's
at
a
Crab
scary
Mountain,
thought.
I was the one who brought the snowmobile up to lug the paddy wagon.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. I like that part.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I'm not game for looking at people that are mangled. Oh, geez, looks like you beat your face in there. Ugh. I'm just gonna have a little nap.
I have a hard time not making jokes. That's my big thing. Like, oh, hey, that's supposed to be pointing that direction. I find absolutely hilarious. But,
Geez, your foot's awful flexible.
people, yeah.
Is that supposed to be pointed that direction?
Rowan, what's new and exciting, young man?
Just got done exam week.
Oh, geez,
Oh, yeah.
that's horrible.
Grade 11.
Yeah.
Graduating on time?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. I had physics and math that are my last two. Physics was
Is it still separated like 10-2 and 10-3 or 11-2, 11 whatever?
Yeah, I have
What are the levels? I don't even remember anymore.
11-2 English is the harder one.
And then 11-3 is easier.
You don't have 11-1 now or advanced?
I think there's 11-0, and that's like the really I think that's pretty easy. Or that's regular. 11-2 is the harder one, then 11-3 is like
So what do you take?
I took the 11-2 English. That's the university English. You got to take that in the university, and then I took functions math, which is the harder math, or else you can take like business, which isn't as bad. But I need the functions in the level 2 English for university, and then physics was another course that I didn't entirely need, but I took it just because it helps me later on next year. Like, I don't have to take an extra credit next year, my second semester, so I got like a free semester basically next year if I wanted to take like co-op or something.
Boy, howdy, that's exciting.
Hmm.
Are you doing good? What are your grades? Average all across the board.
90,
Really?
low 90, high.
that's really
high
good.
80s.
Smarter than your
Jay
old man.
showed
Good
me
for you.
some charts
Oh,
up there.
jeez.
I used to get
Wouldn't take
80.
much.
I used to get 90s if you
Yeah.
doubled two of them together.
Yeah.
Just gonna say, I got a 90 in gym.
That'd be about the only one. Shop and gym.
Had a 99 in environmental science all year.
Yes, sir. That's good.
Yeah, it's funny how they have a portal app on the phone that you can pretty much live watch your marks.
I go in
And,
and show you, but they close it down during exam week. Can't see it.
And man, certain projects really, they'll just cut you go from a 90 to like a 60, just bang.
Oh yeah, because they have like things now that are worth like more marks than another. So like I could do an English test, and then I could do like a project for 60 marks. Say the English test was 60 marks as well, and the test will drop my mark significantly lower than the test.
I used to like to roll around that 48 to 52 range.
Yeah,
I found they didn't mess with me much there.
I like to live on the edge.
yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to pick on you when you're holding like a 60. My friend was holding the 60 all year, and the teacher was right at him. But then there'd be a kid on the other side of the class with like a 20, and she wouldn't even look at him.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can really fail now, can they?
No,
if
that's
they,
the scary part is that they won't fail you. You know.
Really?
My math
No.
teacher said when we were going into exams, if you have a 57, I have to bump you up to a 60. I can't fail you with a 57.
I'll tell you what. Back in my day, you could sure fail because I did
Oh, yeah.
twice.
I know. You did?
Frig yeah, grade 2 and 12.
Grade 2.
I was gonna say I know a lot of people that fail grade 3. Well, grade 3 is when you get.
You've known me for a long time. Can you imagine what I was like as a teenager and a young boy?
failed 2 grades.
I'm that kid that wore a leash because he was off the chain.
You know what though? Like we talk about that, and probably all of us know somebody at some point that failed or came damn close. But think about the reasoning that they don't fail kids now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of kids there that are high school can't read, really can't comprehend a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they failed me twice, and look at how damn good I turned out.
You're quite a specimen. for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolute unit.
I can write and print my name.
Yeah. You
I have superior linguistic skills, and I can't thank the school for that. Actually, I can, because I spent extra time there. 2 years.
Pretty blue collar here around this table.
Yeah. I never learnt good,
Boys, that old chili moose cup keeps that coffee hot.
doesn't it?
Same thing for my beer. Keep it nice and cold.
Y'all are fixing to make me want to go get one.
I love a good coffee anytime I'm here, but
Yeah, me too.
I brought my own this time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a bunch of questions.
We doing. Let's start with the regulations first, and then get into the questions, because that's exciting. Regulations are exciting but boring.
I'll just tell you right now that I haven't been up to much. Working.
Have you?
Yeah, about it.
Par for the course this time of year. Same with me. Just-
Yeah, planning.
Obviously, nobody cares, Matthew. We never asked.
That's right, Julien. That's right. I
Yeah,
thought
we never really asked about ourselves.
I thought we better get that out there, but that's what I've been doing, planning. I got a few good irons in the fire. Been doing some courses for what I can actually take, because our portal's kind of down, so which sucks, because the first quarter of the year is the time to do that, right? Once that second quarter of the year hits and you're getting closer to the snow going away, you know what I mean? People are starting to get busy. Like, this is the time right now to be doing stuff like that. But anyway, not much. Giving stuff away, contests, planning.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed I didn't get to win that, you know.
Yeah, you should put in sometime.
I don't figure it's very fair for me to put in. I should probably not do that. We're good friends, you know.
Yeah,
Might look a little suspicious if I did win.
that's right. Not that you don't need the training, Wes.
True story.
So what have you been doing? Scratching
Nothing.
tubs?
Scratching tubs, shower doors, and playing in the woods. That's about it.
Making business for yourself?
Yeah, booking bear hunters and stuff. That's
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, I booked, actually saying that, I booked all my guys. I've got actually one spot left the end of October, and then right at the very end, actually. And I figured we might go a little bit deeper into November this year, too. So,
We get a new comment, I see.
oh, really?
Yeah, you better check it out. I do not want to move my phone. It sounds good right now. We got
Yep.
Julien on the phone, so.
So, probably going to go stateside and get some guys this year.
That's a good idea.
There's been some interest, so love to have some Americans up.
Get into some of that American money.
If anybody listening wants to go on an awesome waterfowl hunt in the Maritimes
Or a bear hunt this spring.
or a bear hunt,
Last week, I got 3 spots left. That's it.
Nice.
Walter Vesey. Wow.
Cannot wait to see him this spring.
Well,
Yeah.
Steve, I'll tell you right now, the feeling isn't mutual for him, as he's told me already.
I'm already on his last nerve.
Yeah, you've already drove him
Yeah.
nuts. He's tired of your questions. How many hairs will my dog have on its tail?
Will his nutsack be soft or coarse? How old before his balls drop? You think he'll have Big Johnson?
Will I have to train my dog?
Do they have the same amount of teeth as humans?
Does he bite?
Do his farts stink?
Should I be writing this all down?
Oh, you've already asked those questions. We know.
He's listening. Frequently asked questions for
You can just shoot me the answer.
Yorkton Kennels.
Yeah.
No, I'm super excited though to get that puppy.
Yeah, that'll be
Are you getting a male or female?
Female, I
Yeah.
decided to go with.
that'll be a really good dog for you, Steve.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's time.
It's
Next-
a lot of fun.
next
having
year.
a dog.
Next year for me. Mom and Dad's dog needs a lot of work this year, and that'll be perfect for me. It's not a good year for me with it being a national year to get a new puppy. So
Yeah. I'm rolling one more year.
take all
before
my
we
frustration out on Steve and his new dog.
begat another one.
Yeah, hopefully with things being slow, I can help out training throughout the summer and
I'd love that. It would be great to have somebody to talk to.
not just you and the dogs.
Yeah, or myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to go over this quick?
Yeah, let's go over the new
Yeah.
regulations here that we
Okay.
got going on briefly.
Did you have a chance to look over them at all, Julien?
I did, yep.
Okay.
Especially in Nova Scotia and PEI part, which are the same. But
Well, New Brunswick is basically the same too. I've got them all
Yeah.
printed off here, but
I didn't do
Yeah.
my homework, so I'm just gonna slide my mic back. I'm gonna eat
There's
not
almonds.
tons,
Hence the 2
really,
extra
except for
years.
the
And
that's
season
why
change.
that's why I didn't get my grade 2.
Not that I'd have passed anyway. Yeah, so we got Sandhill crane season. No, we don't.
Actually,
Oh.
I'm glad you brought that up because they're talking about that in Quebec, eh?
Are they really?
They said, but it wouldn't. I read in there that it wouldn't be available until 2026.
There's
But-
a lot of them in friggin' Ontario.
Yeah, it's on the table.
we get a couple.
We
Yeah.
it's not uncommon to see them here every fall
Yeah.
now.
It'd be cool to have like a tag system. Like you shoot like one a year. Like
It'll
once a
happen.
year.
Probably in your lifetime, you'll see it.
Yeah.
They'll keep moving. Look at the stuff we get here now. But
Yeah.
We got a great big mute swan here right now.
I saw
That was
that.
point.
Jeez.
Yeah,
oh really?
it's a monster. Yeah.
That is a big friggin' bird.
Been here for 2 weeks.
That's cool.
Same place every single day.
Wow. Did you get some good pictures or anything? Or
I got a good video of him coming in. Get 10 yards from him. Oakley was about 10 yards from him. Looked at Oakley. Didn't phase him none.
no, he knew he could kill that thing.
Kept trucking. He's like, back off, little dog.
Come on, Cletus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Oakley wouldn't know what to do with that thing. Man, about double the size of a goose.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
Oh, it's
So
monstrous.
the first thing I wanted to talk about, and again, we're not going to take a whole bunch of time on this, but we did plan to talk about it, was the black duck limit. And from what I took from it, the reason that they have moved it back to 6, and I think that's clear across the Maritimes,
Yep.
is that between the U.S. and us, they have sort of a committee that works together, CWS and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, to monitor black ducks. I have it here somewhere, but I don't have the name of it right in front of me, what that committee's called. But anyway, they break it down into categories and how the limit should go, and they feel that moving it back to liberal still won't get them to the desired number of black ducks that maybe they would want to see harvested. So they think that moving it back to 6 is the way to go. So for the next couple of years, and probably with the number of hunters and the harvest rates, from what it looks like, from what I read, I doubt, unless we have a big increase of people out there shooting them, that it'll ever, or there's a big drop in the numbers or something. I don't.
Well, this year, I'd almost say we've seen as many or more black ducks as we did anything else.
I personally, in my life of hunting here, have never seen that many black ducks as we did this fall. Like whole flocks of black ducks, you know.
Yep.
Definitely nice to see.
So, it's called the Black Duck Adaptive Harvest Management Working Group, Mississippi and Atlantic Flyway Councils, as well as the Atlantic Migratory Game Bird Technical Committee that meets in October. So,
Nice.
if there's anybody listening to this that knows somebody that's on that committee, I'd be interested to know who it is.
Be nice to talk to him.
It would be, yeah. I would love to meet
Be
some
nice
of
to
them.
have him on the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Be nice to have anybody that has to do with anything, banding, anything to do with waterfowl.
Well, it talked
Be
at
in
the
touch with them.
first about the biologist that put on this report. It's a Bergeron out of Quebec, and be interested to have somebody like that on here too, because they talked a lot about Canada geese, and we've learned now where our geese come from and the numbers of breeding pairs. So it's kind of cool. But the proposal, I think, for the extension of our season, I'm pretty sure that's clear across the Maritimes too. But Julien, you can speak on that or jump in anytime. It says one of the changes they want to do is increase the season length for ducks. And it's proposed to increase the number of duck hunting dates to the maximum allowable of 107 days throughout New Brunswick. the duck seasons would be increased by up to 15 days. So our season would go from October 1st to January 15th in Zone 2, which is most of the province. Zone 1 is like the coastal down towards St. John County, St. Stephen, St. Andrews, that area.
Our season was October 8th to January 15th this year, and next year they proposed to put it till January 22nd. So we gained 7 days,
Right.
but it's still 107 maximum days.
So Zone 1 of our province always starts 15 days later, like yours normally did, Julien.
Yeah.
And they go from October 15th to January 29th for puddle ducks, not for sea ducks. It goes to January 5th. So you could literally hunt ducks right till the end of January.
Yeah.
From October 1st here. If you went down to
Well,
zone
realistically,
1.
once December hits, you pretty much would need to go hit the coast anyway. But it's freaking cool to be able to have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
We could have hunted the river this December.
And-
It stayed open.
And there's one thing's for sure. We have ducks that stay here. You know, it just depends on snow where they're going to go.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. If it's going to go into January 15th and we get a bunch of snow, that's what's going to make our duck blind hot.
Absolutely.
Because in past years, look at this year, Christmas, we didn't even have any snow.
No, the last 2 years we haven't. We've hunted right to the end with basically no snow.
But you give that another 3 weeks, and we did have snow.
Yeah.
You know, so they would have had to go over by the blind. So
The duck cabin.
the old cabin. So that was the big.
Should look into getting that fixed up a little bit or something in there, a little more comfortable.
It's not, you can't really fix it up too much because if
water-
you have a big flood water, it'll take it all out. We did that one. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was friggin' awesome. Wood
was.
stove, like roof over us, 2 dog blinds on the end, and it got destroyed.
I was talking.
It was heartbreaking.
I wanted the design thing there, like you could almost build one that floated, and you could just put it on poles and it'd lift up. You were the one that recommended the poles, and it could just lift up in the spring. And it's
Problem is, there's the ones that you see that are floating blinds, there's no current.
yeah.
When that water's coming through there in the spring with the current, it doesn't matter what you do.
I'd be interested to go down there and see, because you could stay up on that ridge away from the water and see what it's like right there. Because it might give us a better idea if it's wet, you know.
I'd almost build something like Legos that, okay, here's a dog blind, you carry it in, couple screws, and it's fastened, and then at the end of the season, you take a couple screws out and we move it back out of the way. So, or the roof, you carry the roof over and screw it into place, take it out. Like something that you can move out of there so it doesn't get taken away by the friggin' river.
Or if you
Yeah.
could even build a road down there and have something that you could wheel out of there every.
Or
The road on someone else's property down, and that'd be the best idea.
or you just take blinds down in there and set them up.
You know what we should do? Get a great big giant pit so the water will just flow over it. Because that's one thing that's never changed in there is the lay of the land.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for
Sand
sure.
doesn't wash away.
Make something so big that it can't be washed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's some. Well, one thing's for sure with. Yeah.
Like that year we had the wood stove and everything. That was bar none the best ever. The dogs were insulated with
Oh yeah.
styrofoam and straw.
It was cool.
We had ramps for them. Like it was nice.
It was cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Comfortable, dry,
And kill ducks out of it. Too.
and killed ducks.
I don't think I had much else to really talk about, unless you had anything for Nova Scotia, Julien.
No, it's basically except for our eider season changed from there's proposed to change. Usually opens November 17th, and they're talking about opening November 2nd, and then closing it at the end of December,
Yeah.
where usually we go till January 15th.
That's the
So
same.
we're just basically backing the season up 2 weeks.
That's the same as ours in all of the province, actually.
I wonder, did PEI change anything at all? Like, I mean,
Same as Nova Scotia for the seasons, I think, is
Do
dead.
they?
And
Are they still dropping down to 3 Canada geese and all that crap?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Like,
I
that
think
was
that's
so
I
stupid.
feel like that's provincial. I see that they were putting a push on for Sunday hunting
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there.
Seen that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of there's a ton of information there. But
Some
that's
pretty good changes, though.
that's kind of the overview. Yeah, the 107-day season, that's awesome. The opportunity to go into January here, and then if we want to go down on the coast and go till the end of January and into February, or start out in February for sea ducks. That's a long season.
Yeah.
Friggin' right it is.
That's a long season.
When I was reading down through that, I noticed it said crossbows. I never read too much into it, but may be used now to hunt crossbow. There's apparently going to be a bolt minimum
Waterfowl?
requirement. Yep.
Really?
Right in the document that Matt has. And also with detachable magazines, apparently there's going to be a restriction on those. You have to make sure that your detachable magazines, if you're using a shotgun or anything like that, has to be pinned as well.
You imagine shooting a freaking crossbow bolt up
Yeah.
into the air?
And
Holy
new
frig.
prohibition on use of drones. I don't know. I tried to look into that. I couldn't find the actual.
Yeah, that might be that might be more out west
Yeah.
based because
That was on the same document, anyways. But yeah,
Well, that's some pretty good changes, though.
yeah.
So, and it says
I like
the public consultation period is from January 13th to February 12th, 2024. If you want to comment or write in about those amendments that they're wanting to make, agree, disagree, think that other things should be changed or taken into account, that's,
I guess
that's a good opportunity,
Something new that's not waterfowl related for Nova Scotia. Did you see, Julien, that
I did.
they're putting up a review for spring bear season in Nova
I seen
Scotia?
that. Yeah. It's about time.
It is about time. You're right.
Friggin' right. So,
We,
Revolving.
this
youth-
year. What's that? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Julian. Finish.
It's the most bears I've ever seen this year, by far. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen 3 bears on the road in 2 weeks' time, like
Yeah.
driving.
Wow.
So how many's out in the woods?
yeah.
Probably a pretty good amount anyway.
Do you think that has anything to do with the woods being flattened over there last year? Didn't you guys have quite a bad windstorm?
I think it does. Them
Fire.
huge forest fires,
And
I think
fire,
it
yeah.
shoved the bears one side or another, I think.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the bears that were up in Barrington, Shelburne area probably got pushed down this way, I'm guessing. Because it burned, 20,000 hectares or something
That's
in
a
one
lot
spot.
of land.
Yeah. A lot of land got
Big swath.
disappeared. And that's all wood. That's all woods, right? Like
Yeah.
all deep woods for Nova Scotia, I guess. Yeah.
What do those woods look like in 30 years, though? Like all the forest fires?
It's already grown back.
Yeah.
No, they'll have.
You can drive
growth.
through right now, and unless you really look off the side of the road to see like the black on the bottom of the trees, it's basically all grown back in.
Crazy, eh? How that happens. Nature looks after itself like that.
Well, they do
Five
prescribed
months.
burns out west all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prescribed burns.
And the states do it
I
steady
noticed
on top.
when we were flipping through that too around bird dog training. It says there's a requirement now for registration if you're going to carry more than 200 birds for training. Has that always been the thing?
200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you had to have a permit for a lot.
To exceed the possession limit of up to 200 migratory birds for
Yeah.
dog training for as
I
retrievers.
was gonna say you
Yeah,
have to have a
be a
permit
co-
for over your possession limit.
You
Not-
got to be
not
you got to be a corporation that trains retrievers
Yeah,
for the
but
purpose.
there's a requirement now, I guess, in order to meet that. That's the way it's worded. Registration requirement to exceed the possession limit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's always been. I know in the past that there was a permit. But I see it in there now, like that's kind of being pushed. So
Yeah.
they want to know where your freezer is, like the geolocation and how many birds you got in there and what they are. You know what I mean? You keep track. You have
Yeah.
to keep a log.
Yeah. Well, we got some questions here and things to talk about on Facebook. From
Yeah.
the post that Matt put up.
Thanks everybody for
Yeah.
commenting on that. That's great.
So we'll start right off the bat here up for discussion here. I guess it is. Ugly Orchard Gun Dogs wants to know, what are the top 10 dog breeds for waterfowl?
That's a loaded question.
Oh, isn't it? That's a start right off with a banger. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that we all know what the number one waterfowl dog would be as an overall breed. I mean, that would be the Labrador Retriever. So there's one.
Most popular for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It would be number one. Chesapeake Bay Retriever would be another one that's right up there.
Yep. For waterfowl.
Yeah.
Pretty similar to a lab, but a lot more hardy dog, and a little more independent.
Golden Retriever.
Yep, Golden Retriever. Golden Doodle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Steve likes.
Yeah. Surprised that's not what he got.
Yeah, I know, right? But
Probably
yeah,
has one coming from Walt.
yeah.
Did you see those ones?
Just pass it over. I can't. Yep, I
Okay.
got those writ down. Yeah, they'd be three of the biggest ones, and then you got like a lot of the guys down south like those Boykin Spaniels. I don't know. I couldn't rank them really. I mean, you got
10 is a lot.
yeah, 10's a lot. I mean, you're getting into versatile breeds that aren't just waterfowl dogs. I mean,
Nova Scotia Duck Toller.
duck toller. Yep.
They got their spot for tolling ducks, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys around here still do that.
Yep. I mean, it's whatever kind of dog you want to hunt over.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's it.
like
really.
for me, I like a drat. That's my dog, but I don't just hunt waterfowl with them. I really.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with that is top 10 dog breeds for waterfowl is actually whatever you get, getting a dog that wants to do the job.
Mm.
Sure, you can make probably almost any dog do that job,
Yeah.
but do they want to do it?
Yeah.
You know?
They've either got to have a strong drive to retrieve or a strong prey drive to just get animals in their mouth.
A man can pound a nail with just about anything, but it works way better with a hammer.
Absolutely.
Next.
So, next, Damien Pittman. Share some stories about the hills of New Brunswick and the feed that our birds frequent.
The mountains of New Brunswick.
The
The mountain geese.
Yeah.
We're becoming well known for mountain geese. I mean, Damien's clear out in Ontario.
Yeah.
That's a long ways.
That is a long ways, yeah. Flatlanders.
Yep.
Sean Stahl put
Yeah.
us on the
Flatlanders.
Well, they definitely don't look like blue herons. That's
right
for sure.
next to flat earthers.
The legs on them are a lot more muscular. You can tell that they do their squats, being on those side hills all the time.
Yeah. But I guess that is something that's really unique if you drive across both countries here. If you look at the lay of the land where the waterfowl typically is we've got really hilly country here, and our geese eat potatoes.
Yeah, they love the taters.
buds.
And not soybeans, really. I've yet to
No.
hunt them in soybeans.
We've hunted them here in soybeans a
Yeah.
few times, but it's not their go-to. You know, that's definitely very traditional for us here that they like to eat potatoes at a certain
Yeah.
time of year, and it's something that's unique to this side of the country for sure, and almost not just this area, because I know south of us they probably grow some, but definitely it's a big thing here. And the hills are, I mean, it is unique. You know,
Definitely.
you have geese that start out that are way below you that want to fly up hills. You know, it makes it really tough to scout here too. You know, because
It does, yeah.
we don't have grid roads here. Like if you don't know where they're going and you can't get up on another hill quick to see where they're going, they just
Yeah. Well, like Saskatchewan, good grief, you just stand out your front door and
yeah.
scout birds from 20 miles away. Oh,
Yeah.
there they go.
Yeah.
Watch
here,
where they land.
You'll be sitting
Stand on a
roof.
tuna can and you can watch them for 40 miles.
Yeah, watch them fly all day. But here, you'll be sitting on a roost and watch them fly, and within 2 minutes, they're out of sight.
Yeah.
Not even. You
Yeah.
got to find the direction and get ahead of them.
Between the fog and the hills.
You have to know it would be hard to consistently freelance here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Or
sure.
you could see them on the side of the road once in a while, but to hunt them and kill them every day for 40 or 50 or 60 days.
Yeah. Sean Stahl said you couldn't. He's like, there's no way that he could. He figures he could kill geese.
Our roads don't
not
make
knowing
sense.
where he's going.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our roads don't make sense like other places.
No.
Other places have grid roads, like
Yeah.
they
North, east, south, west.
Yeah, they make sense. Here
We
it's
have
not that
one
way.
road that covers all those directions.
Yeah,
You might have to drive east for 5 minutes to head north again, or like it's just
When
ridiculous.
I find birds, I'm just like, all right, boys, I don't know where I am, but this is the pin.
Here's the
This
pin.
is the pin, and I found geese.
Yeah.
Tell me where I am so I can get back home.
Yeah. Thank goodness for GPSs. What would you have done back in the day? Paper maps.
And
Signal
GPS don't
fire.
work nowhere hardly. Friggin' like Upper Kent, there's a lot of places phones useless.
Yeah.
You've
Definitely.
got backtrack.
Service didn't seem to be that good this year.
It was awful.
What?
It was awful.
yeah. Service was terrible this year.
So what would we say to eat? Just mainly grains, corn later,
Corn is king.
potatoes whenever,
Yeah, yeah. They're
grass really.
yeah. They're funny here on what they wanna eat, and they really try to get into potatoes early. We try not to hunt them there too much, just because there's so much rain a lot of times in the fall. It's just hellish to try to hunt those mud flats. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hate them. I'm open about it, and I say that every time.
Yeah.
I hate potato fields.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Yeah. It's so dirty.
that day we
worst.
hunted with Dennis and them this year. Dennis and
Brandon,
Herman and them.
that was
What a friggin'
brutal.
Oh,
What a mess.
yeah.
Still got 17 or something.
Yeah, we got them.
Yeah,
but
we
had
did
a-
okay.
It was a strange
Man.
year. I know the guys in the south are struggling because there's no migration, and we had birds around, but they got here and stayed here.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you get to hunt potato fields at a layout blind, Steve, or did you come in after that?
I did a few times my first couple years here.
That's
with
freaking
Brad.
terrible.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. Raining, your
Yeah.
blind was full
Oh,
of
you'd
water.
be covered with completely covered in mud, and then
Yeah.
it would dry up. You'd just be caked in mud and friggin'
I'd rather find them somewhere else.
Hey, me too. Yeah. Yeah. If
We were
it's,
hunting potatoes that time, me and you, Matt, right? When we're laying in layout blinds, it's like rivers going through.
oh yeah,
Hunted to the boat.
Oh,
friggin'
that
brutal.
was probably
man.
the worst hunt of all time for
Yeah.
being wet and miserable.
Yeah. Wet, miserable, and cold.
yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
That's part of it, though. So those are the hunts you remember, not the blue sky.
Yeah.
You go in, you
Never
shoot your
forget
limit
it.
in 20 minutes. And go
Yeah, we never talk about those nice days where we go out and shoot double limits and it's
have breakfast by
dry
9:30.
and warm.
Yeah.
It's the hurricane that we hunt in that we
Yeah.
swamp match truck and stuff like that.
Get pulled out by the tractor. And,
Those are the good days.
yeah, that's fun. They are memorable, man. That's good. So
Those are the good days.
So we get another question here. Cashman says, "Who or what got us into waterfowling?" Let's start with Julien.
One of Dad's friends used to bring me once in a while, and I just fell in love with it. Then I ran into Matt when I was, that'll be 19, 20 years old, Matt.
Yep.
And from there, we just grew, I guess.
Julien was trying to do a little hunting and PEI there. Started out there, and that's kind of where we met each other.
Wasn't successful.
But it was one of your
Unsuccessfully.
dad's friends that pretty much got you into it, though.
Yeah.
That's for you, Julien.
Yeah.
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 Right
Yeah.
on.
Because I've always been into hunting, right? Anything
Yeah.
when I was a kid. But
So
ducking,
you
stuff.
hunted other stuff before you hunted waterfowl?
Yeah, like rabbits and partridge and everything else.
Yeah.
Deer.
You strike
My
me
old
as a
man was
rabbit
here.
hunter.
That's the Frenchman in him.
That's all they got over there.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt? Who or what got you into it?
Well, I guess for me, I don't really ever remember a time when I didn't want to do it. Dad took me when I was a kid, real young, and but we never went a ton. I did go with like Kevin Perkins and Adam Richardson used to take me to like Cambridge Narrows and stuff. It's a pretty big deal back then. A lot of people hunted and camped out, and like it was a big deal down below the dam. Pretty cool. And of course at the time, like Perkins was like us, right? He was shooting a lot of geese and had full body decoys and was ramming around. So learned a lot from him. So
Yeah, he was the goose father.
he
for
definitely
He could kill geese, man.
Oh man, yeah, like absolutely. I mean, certainly wasn't for his calling. You know, he just knew where to be. He had good gear. He knew how to hide. Like,
Yeah, he hit his blinds really well.
and he knew how to scout. He just put himself where he needed to be all the time. Right, just proved over and over and over and over again that regardless of what happens with the gear, if his stuff wouldn't have burnt in that fire that time, like he would have still been crushing geese over all that old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, out of
a homemade layout blind.
well, yeah. I mean, that was later on when we first started. It was you put 2 decoys in front of you and you hide behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my story of my introduction.
Rowan? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but tell us.
Uncle Julien.
Tell us, Rowan.
Oh,
Who or what got you into waterfowl hunting?
well, I've been accompanying you guys since I think I've been in diapers still. Probably in the womb, for all I know. But
No, not in the womb, but
Yeah.
not long after you were out of the womb, you were in a car seat
yeah,
that first early season.
We were taking turns sitting with him.
Months old.
watching birds fall out of the sky.
Yeah, so. Yeah, he was kind of born into it.
Yeah.
The lifestyle.
Yeah, no question. Stevie?
Well, kind of a combination between my dad. He had a friend of his who was a dairy farmer. And they took us out, I should say, a couple times when I was real young. And then I never really did it again until I started with Matt and Wesley, actually, when you guys used to do the youth hunts. Took 6 or 8 of us out. We attempted to shoot some birds. I don't think we really got any, but it was fun, you know. And then I never did it again. I was always been hunting and fishing. I've always been out in the outdoors and stuff, but I was never really into waterfowl hunting in particular until the last few years. And I just did it once and kind of got back into it again. Funny, all the years later, it's the same group of people that kind of started with.
Yeah.
Yeah, the outlaws that everybody
Oh,
shit about.
The shit I've heard about you guys, it's hilarious. I still hear people still tell me, and it's hilarious because I don't know I hunt with you guys all the time, so it's even better that way.
Yeah.
I like to feed into it all the time too.
As you
absolutely.
should.
Yeah.
Here's another log. Throw that on the fire.
Yeah. You should be scouting for us and
Yeah,
digging up dirt.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how that would be quite a quite a perspective for you to have on it. With people are saying stuff and they don't know that you hunt.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you
That
hear
we hunt together.
The name, like you've been around doing it for so long, the Waterfowl Mafia name, people don't even necessarily know who that's associated with. They just see the logo, the trailer,
Yeah,
and they just say those fucking Mafia or, you know,
yeah,
Matt Wilson and whoever else,
that's right.
you know. So it's funny when I hear people talking about it.
Shooting all our birds.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, the stories, if you're out hunting a lot, or the things that people can make up are really something.
Yeah,
Joe.
definitely. We've heard some good ones over the years.
Some
that's for sure.
definite doozies. And now that you're actually part of that, certainly in the last, like, how long's it been now, Steve? We've
The
been hunting
third
together.
solid year.
Third.
Third
yeah.
solid
Yeah.
year in the last 3 years. Now you're part of that.
Yeah.
Your name's
And,
attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. My
fucking
name's Muddy
Margison.
too.
Steve Margarine's son.
Yeah, I threw a big sticker on the vehicle so everybody would know.
Yeah, flying your colors.
Yeah, know whose windows to break out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, frig.
Most people, like you said, it's just most people don't really know what's going on, and they just, you know, sit around and talk. And once you're part of it, and you realize, you know, everything's done by the books, and you know, it's a great time. It's good to have that stuff in the community.
That's it, right? I mean, people are, you know, you get 1 or 2 people that are jealous or envious or whatever, and they don't like you for really no reason. Probably never even met us. You know what I mean?
How many farmers' sons and just relatives and stuff have been taken out in the last couple of years? Just local people that have no affiliation with any of you guys, and they just come up and say, "Hey, can we come sit with you guys for a day or hunt with you?" Or, you know, it happens all the time. There's a lot of little farmers around here now. Their sons and grandsons that we've hunted with and shared a blind with.
There's really not a lot of people in Carleton County that aren't connected to us in some way.
That's right.
That started with us a lot.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
that's right.
Definitely.
So there's definitely two sides to that coin. That some folks, even if they did go with you or did know the truth, are still gonna talk that talk, right?
Yeah.
And that's all right.
Oh yeah.
Quit worrying about that.
Hey, as long as they're talking about you.
Well, as long as if it were true, it would be one thing. But I mean,
Just know that we don't lose any sleep because of it.
Don't sleep because we hunt for 40 days straight.
So keep on talking.
that's right. Yeah. What's next?
Probably my turn to say where I started, Matt.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wes.
Can you remember back then?
We got on a tangent. Yeah.
Well, back in the day, I used to take my musket with my father.
Blunderbuss.
Yeah, blunderbuss. I went a little bit with Dad. Dad used to hunt some waterfowl with Martin. What was his last? I can't remember what his first name was.
I can't. I
Couple
can't either.
Nakwik guys
Yeah.
there. They used to come up here and hunt waterfowl, and then
Yep.
I went with Paul Allward, and then right after that, I met you, and we started hunting together, and that was about it.
All downhill from there.
All
We were downhill
there.
from there.
It's been 16 years ago.
Yeah,
17 years ago.
Yeah, 17 years now. So that's where
As long as Rowan's been alive.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was around before
First,
he was burned.
Just before.
Burn. I got him his first duck call. What was that called? That RNT
I still have that. I
baby
think.
call there.
Yeah.
Has your name on it, I think.
Is it blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have.
What's it called? What is it called?
Born on calls.
Born on call. Yeah, I didn't.
I don't know if they still have that, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know Matea has one too. Rowan has one. Matea has one.
Yeah.
You used to blow her.
Yeah.
Better then than you are now.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He used to just walk around the house just hammering on that.
He's just used to rolling on your coattails. You get to the blind, you don't need to call.
Yeah.
Just sit there and hold your shotgun with
Them
your
guys
finger
are
on
doing
your
it.
safety.
Don't need to.
Yeah.
Oh, that little video you put up the other day was good, Rowan.
Yeah, you're getting
It was
better.
You're getting there.
impressive.
That's all it is, man. Just practice. You did that every day, you'd be.
We
Imagine.
practice. We
that's
used to practice all the time.
All it took was early season. I was getting those clucks down really, really good.
Well, yeah, you do a lot. Think about, like, it doesn't have to be a lot, but think about where you'd be a month from now if you practice
Every day.
a little bit every day.
Yeah.
10 minutes a day, man, every day.
I put my headphones on. I get the music going.
Yeah. Where I would be 15 years from now.
This time,
Actually contributing to the calling and the blind.
Yeah.
No,
this time
I'm just joking.
next year or this fall even. You know?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Julien?
I heard it.
Imagine where you'd be.
He's going to keep ignoring it.
Yeah.
How long you been
Yeah.
calling, Julien?
20 years.
It's funny, man. We got a whole blind full of people that got calls around their necks, and that's all they are. They just sit there.
I use mine off all.
Yes, because Matt has been after you relentlessly. Julian, blow your calls, blow your calls, blow your calls. Like literally never ending.
Well, I thought my job was to sit there and look pretty, but
Well, you're suck shit at that, so start blowing your
Failed at
calls.
that early. Your job actually was to speak for me.
yeah. And I done a good job of that too.
I
All
told
Yeah.
the shots.
told
Eh.
that story.
Did
on
you
the
listen
last
to the podcast that last podcast?
No,
Yeah, I figured you haven't.
I told that story on the last podcast.
oh, that was great.
What a guy! He
What,
doesn't
the
even
part
listen
where
to
I
our
called you the
friggin'
next day when I was
podcast.
scouting?
Yeah, I know.
What a
Yeah,
dick.
that's the one. Yeah, about me scouting the next day. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Sit
great.
there doing sign language with me all day, and then call me the next day like I was going to be able to talk to you. had four or five words to use the whole day.
I had shit to say. I
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, 3 of them were "fuck you, Julien."
Yeah.
I can't talk.
Yeah. Asshole.
Yeah. All right, Josh McInnes. He says, "What is it about the hunt or the process that keeps us coming back?"
Ooh, jeez.
That's a banger.
That's a real good question. Josh is a big supporter of. Sorry about that, boys. East Coast calls.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
It's from the heart.
I couldn't pinpoint one thing for myself.
I
Really.
couldn't either.
Yeah, like for me, it's.
Well,
not
he
just
doesn't say
hanging out.
one thing. He
Yeah.
just says, "What about the hunt and the process?"
Getting together
All
with
of it.
everybody is a big part of it for sure. Every day getting together, you're working it out together. You're whether the weather's good or bad, you're out there in the field, the same guys every day. And right
Steve
from
has no friends.
yeah, I have
so
no friends exactly.
What he
so,
does
yeah,
is
exactly.
hangs out with us.
Yeah, the rest of the year I'm alone, so it's great for the fall for that. But,
I feel you. Yeah.
and
I'd be that way too, Steve. I definitely would agree with all of that. Like, it gets so ingrained in you that whole rhythm of the way that we do things every day in the fall, because we did it so much the same every day, regardless of where we were. We had such a good system, and it was so well ingrained that when the guiding portion of the season is done, like, it's really hard to not continue on that way. And I mean, we're always out scouting or whatever, but certainly when the season is done, man,
it's a rough time.
When you go that hard, like it's hard to come off it for sure.
Withdrawals.
Part of
Big
you
time.
missing after.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Yeah, it's a real thing. You're so used to doing that and being involved in that, and but
Rowan, what keeps you coming back?
I don't know. It's been something I've done for so long that started to question that almost. What's the deeper meaning to it? I mean, it's a gathering. I like getting together with people and being able to talk in a blind, actually have fun while you're hunting. I don't know how people are deer hunters sit and stand by
Ask
themselves.
your Uncle Scott.
Yeah.
ask Uncle Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the deer hunters are real solitary bastards, is all I can figure. Oh, man, I can't.
Be lonely all season, but yeah, just hunting over the years, like even watching, like before I was able to shoot, it was just fun to watch and be there, hang out with actual full-grown men.
Yeah, you've been on a pile of hunts
Yeah,
over the years. A lot of good ones, man.
it's just a spectator, but
Yeah.
Even since you started hunting, like the early season this year when it was just us, Matt wasn't there. We went out five of us. Yeah, we shot 50 birds.
yeah,
That was awesome.
yeah, exactly.
Everything you practiced and watched over the last so many years.
Yeah,
Put it into
take a bunch of silhouettes. I don't know how many silhouettes we had.
we crossed that soggy field out in the middle to get
Yeah,
our legal distances and everything else.
Well, and I mean, when you're used to going with somebody all the time, like if you were used to going with me all the time, and then you went by yourself.
That's it exactly. Because I just turned 16, so I can hunt by myself now, and it's a big thing when I went out duck hunting when you and Julien went scouting, and I hunted by myself. Like, that was a big eye opener to actually go out and throw decoys out and put spinners out and
Make
call
decisions on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just watching you do it and kind of learn.
Criticizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody there to holler at me.
Why'd you turn that 30 degrees to the west? And it's just like,
Don't you know they're all supposed to be facing into the wind, son?
Yeah. If you have one the wrong way, the flock will flare.
yeah.
Don't piss in the spread. They'll see the wet spot.
But I mean, for like, we've all been hunting our whole life. And I mean, you're still a young man, still in school. You've hunted a lot too. You've seen a lot of different sides. You probably hunted more than most people your age.
No, probably about that. There's no probably about that.
You watch back through those videos of ours. Holy shit, you're in like all of them.
Looks like Charlie Brown when he was a kid.
Yeah, poking his head out of the blind. But I mean, it'd be interesting to dive into that. It'd be hard.
Yeah, and I've kind of learned from all the different perspectives of it. Like, we started just putting trees into like a big pile and then digging a little hole and sitting in the middle of them in like a hedgerow or tree line. And now we're sitting in A-frames out in the middle of the field with actual, how many dozen, 16 dozen full body decoys compared to what we used to have, and just like seeing how far we've come over the years, just growing up in it. It's
As blue collared regular Joes.
yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Well, layout blinds, when we first started, you would have been in layout blinds
Yeah.
with us when you were real young.
I've never shot a bird out of a layout blind. I've hunted in them.
Oh yes, you have.
It's been a long time since I laid in the layout blind.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know, that was the thing, and it'll reel back around to that. But
Yeah.
as far as the safety aspect of things, like for us, we could do it, but I would have a hard time.
With new people every day that haven't laid in them and haven't done the routine, it's nice to be able to physically look and see what they're doing, and them look at you, and you know what's going on.
So much safer to be able to stand up.
Yeah.
But
And you
definitely,
can't talk either.
yeah, definitely
Holy snowface.
you've certainly
You call
you've
him,
certain
hon? Shut the gate.
you've certainly seen the revolution.
Yeah, exactly.
I can definitely put a few points in as to what brings me back to waterfowling or makes me a waterfowler. One, the action.
Yeah.
Almost every single hunt, you're gonna get action. You're not just sitting there doing nothing, staring at the friggin' woods. You're gonna be calling. You're gonna be flagging. You're gonna be constantly making decisions on what to do, when to do it, how to do it, from the scouting to the setup to the calling and the killing. So it's the action. You get tons of action in the season compared to any other type of hunting. Number two, this isn't in any order of importance, just these are the points. The dogs. I love hunting with a dog, watching him do his thing. That's super important to me. The camaraderie. It's like a big party at the camp, except you're hunting. You're shooting the shit with the boys. You're cooking food. You're making fun of each other and just having a wicked time together. So that's pretty much that's the three key biggest things for me: the action, the camaraderie, and the dog.
And I think that to just go a little farther on your points there, like every day is so very different.
Yeah.
The challenge of doing it consistently or to be consistently successful day in and day out. Like to do that once a week is one thing, but I really like the challenge of it doesn't matter what the weather is, like we're going every day, and you cannot just do things the same every single day and be successful. Like there has to be a plan there, and that's what I like. You actually have to hunt, and things have to make sense to get them every day.
We hunted the same field there, Kyle's, the one right outside of town.
Yeah.
We hunted that four times,
Yeah.
5 times, whatever, and it was hunted the same place, but we had to hunt it differently every time. Wind direction changed, had to set your spreads differently, but essentially we hunted the same exact place,
Yeah.
differently 4 times, 5
Yeah.
times,
Every situation's different.
Yeah.
And we got them
and we got them. Yeah.
every time. But understanding the bird, like scouting is a huge part. I love all of it.
Yeah.
We work so hard on the dogs all year long to be able to take them out and do that job. And then, when you get a sailor and you get to run a nice blind with the dog, like those things are awesome. And we don't take those for granted, but you certainly realize at times just how lucky we are when people that never see that stuff, or that's the only times they're going to pretty much hunt all year, are there with you. But I would agree. I like it. I like it all. Scouting, the dogs, the people. It's so nice to be able to be there and shoot the shit with the boys,
Or the girls. There was quite a few women this year.
Yeah,
Really.
there was. Yeah, there was a lot of women that came.
Yeah.
That was good.
Not just there shooting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like hunting actively. Like that's what's really nice.
Yeah.
It suits my personality too. I'm not one that likes to sit still. Like I've never been a good deer hunter. I hate it. Like I could walk around the woods with a gun and jump deer and shoot a few here and there, but I like moving around, being active and doing something. I like that a lot.
and it's just a way of life. Like there's nothing I would rather do.
Yeah.
You know. What about you, Julien?
100% same. 100%. Like, I don't know, just all of it. Every single part. You can't. Setting up decoys. Everything. Getting out of the field in the morning early before everyone's up. And
Just sitting there and not blowing your call.
So far, Julian, all those things you've said, none of which you do.
all of it. I do all of
Setting up
it.
decoys, getting out early.
Who sets up the decoys?
You remember that one time I touched his decoy?
Steve? Who's decoy setter?
Yeah.
Who is it? Come on.
Yeah, you got it. You got the decoys.
Who sets up the blinds?
Oh, that would be Steve setting
Yeah.
up the blind
I got the
technician.
blinds.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that. Sorry, Steve.
I'll tell you one thing that I just this is sort of on the question, but not really the question. One thing that I really enjoyed last year was the afternoon hunts that we did as a group of like just the boys, just the guides or whatever. Like, man,
I'm excited to film those this fall.
that was
coming fall.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah,
Like, so much fun.
just our group.
Yeah,
Just
I like the breakfast.
me too. I'd like to have one right now, Brad. Where we are.
Oh, he's probably cooking something over there.
We're thinking about you, Brad.
I bet you anything. He's home cooking something, smoking something. That's why he
He's
couldn't come.
probably
Yeah.
smoking cheese right now.
You know why he couldn't come? Because he was at a meat stall.
Yeah,
You know what?
playing with his
No, he's on the carnivore diet. No cheese, I don't think. They might be eating cheese, but I don't think they're eating cheese. Maybe they are.
I said meat stall.
Right.
That means the temperature
Oh,
gets
yeah.
stuck.
Yeah. Hard to get
So
it,
he
but-
couldn't come. Okay, so Gavin McAleer, what is your most memorable retrieve? Oh, we got a phone call coming in live.
Let's just see.
Let's just see if he'll answer.
Let's just see if he'll
Probably
answer.
not. He screens his call. He screens his call.
That big ginger.
He does it. Too many people call him every day. I've seen it.
Yeah, he
Who's
knows.
this?
He likes to ignore his phone.
Lets everybody think he's so busy.
Yeah.
Your call has been forwarded to a voicemail service that has not been initialized.
Oh yeah, one of those guys, eh?
Yeah. He's playing with his pet fish, isn't he, Steve?
In case you wanted some change or something.
He's wrangling. He's probably selling fish to the Chinese mafia right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So Gavin McAleer says, "What's your most memorable retrieve or gun dog story?"
Oh,
Let's go around the table and pick one. Julian, what's your most memorable gun dog story? We'll say. Pick one.
Probably the time I almost drowned Oakley. Probably.
Oh, that was the best.
me and Lyndon shot a bunch of geese, and one hit the water, two hit the water, and they were still quite alive. We were shooting over them, and the wind caught them. They probably went 100, 150 yards. I'm guessing Oakley went out, picked up the first one, come back, turned around, headed back out. The second one's probably 150 yards at that point. It's a little choppy, and it was an assault. And he's coming back, and I could see his back starting to lose ground. You couldn't see his back anymore. And then I was yelling at him to let it go. He wouldn't let it go. Come in, got about 15 feet from the shore, let go of the bird, come to shore, started throwing up water. And I was like, oh my God, I killed my dog.
Gee.
So then I was like, all right, let's go to the truck. Nope, he turned around, went back in, wouldn't listen to me, went back in, got the bird.
Still doesn't.
I just had to puke that water out of my lungs, Dad. I'm good to go.
come back to shore with it, puke some more, brought him to the house. I called Matt. I was like, Matt, I killed my fucking dog. I was like, he's going to die. Matt's like, is he drinking water? I was like, yeah, he's still drinking water. Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be good. Sure enough, he come around, man. He's one tough dog.
He's a good one for sure.
He's a good boy, yeah.
Yorkton dog.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's out of
Walt.
Vesey?
Dave Batchelder's River. That's one of his sons.
Yeah.
River.
He's a big boy.
River was an awesome dog.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you? What's your most memorable dog moment?
Well, haven't had my own retriever, like my own dog, so it would have to somebody else's.
That's fine.
It'd have to be probably my first year hunting with you guys. I think we were hunting Robert Oakes's up there, and it was Tank. It would have been probably 2 years ago. Might have been last year. But anyways, there was the terraces like it is here a lot. You get a potato field, a little terrace that sticks up 6 or 8 feet, another potato field, another terrace. Well, it was a cripple that landed out there probably 100, 150 yards, and, you got Tank on point and send him. Well, just as Tank got there, the bird took off, kind of a pace that he couldn't quite get up off the ground, but he was flying 4, 5, 6 feet. Well, just as that bird hit the terrace, Tank, I remember launching right off that terrace. So at that point, he was probably 6 feet in the air or more. And he caught that bird right out of the air in a big roll, and there was dust and dirt and feathers going everywhere. And I just thought it was remarkable, his dedication that, willing to sacrifice body and life just to get that bird.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy. There's no doubt about that.
You pretty much always got to have your arsehole puckered with Tank.
Yeah.
He's always willing to throw himself.
Yeah, gives 110%.
He makes a suicide attempt just about every hunt.
Yeah, I just remember him darting. You could just see his nose in the air, and everything he got off the top of that little windbreak or windrow. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Rowan?
I think it was otters. I was there on the hunt. Otters first duck retrieve there. Don't know what field. I think we were hunting a rock pile. I don't know. I was probably like 4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah, you were young.
I was young.
Yeah.
So it's not much of a memory, but we do got video of it. She went out. She was having a hard time picking it up, wasn't she? Trying to figuring stuff out.
Maybe. She's only 6 months old.
Yeah, I think she was. I don't think she was like a year old. And that was pretty interesting to see where she's gone in her life, existence.
Yeah, from the beginning to now.
Yeah.
Last year, she retrieved ducks. Was it last year?
The year before.
The year before.
Yeah.
Year before. I don't think I took her last year. No, she's getting pretty lame. She's getting pretty lame.
I was there for the last one, was it, Matt? That pond we hunted?
Yep. That
Would've been
was,
our last
well, Memphis is only 2, so it was, it wasn't last fall, it was fall before. Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty slow then. She's pretty stiff.
Oh, but she picked up 2 birds and you put her back in the trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless her. She's
Yeah.
Gonna be 12 this March.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Mine would probably be an otter story. One time when I was guiding out west, we had a banger in the evening. Like it was awesome. One of the best days I ever had out there. Anyway, this is gonna seem far-fetched, but it's the truth. I mean, there's no sense in telling a lie about it. And out west, you can see a long ways. Anyway, we shot into this bunch of specks, and they kind of flared. They were coming right at us, and then they flared straight up in the air. And I watched a guy hit this bird, and like he hit it good, but he hit it in the body, and kind of off to the right-hand side, and I could see that it was bleeding and gonna bleed out. But of course, here they'd run into a tree or whatever. There's nothing to run into really, or where we were that day. Anyway, that bird sailed and sailed and sailed and sailed and sailed, and then boom, hit the ground. Like just basically died in the air and hit the ground. But it was a long ways away. So I watched it the whole time. The guys are high-fiving. They made a bunch of good shots. And I looked down, and Otter was watching the bird too. She'd marked the bird, or I thought she had anyway. So anyway, I sent her name, Center, and I said, boys, I'm pretty sure she marked that bird that you shot right here. It sailed way out there, like it was way out there. Anyway, she took off, threw the decoys, ran past the dead ones, kept on going, went right out there and just speared that bird. And we measured it off on the hunt stand, and it was over 500 yards.
Holy
just
frick.
pinned it, which I couldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe it unless you were there. But like the dog, when I looked down, was watching. I mean, she didn't go out there and hunt. Like she ran to the bird, Anyway, that was one of my most memorable retrieves from that dog right there. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a long ways.
She did that a majority of her life. She'd always pick a sailor. If there was a sailor, she'd run right past the dead ones and go after one that sailed or one that was crippled.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Not many feet off of where she even needed to be. Like just, ran out there and got it. So anyway, and there was a couple dips in the land there where she actually even went out of sight. So I still have a picture of the field from Google Earth.
That's freaking neat. That's a long ways.
That was. I mean, there's lots, but that's one
Yeah,
that definitely stands out in my head. That was unreal.
Yeah.
You know.
I would say my most memorable retrieve, it goes way back too. This goes back to Cooper, my old chocolate lab, and we were hunting sea ducks out around Deer Island. And we'd shot into a flock of eiders, and a cripple went down, and it was swimming away, and he was on it, chasing it. And right before he got to it, the friggin' eider dove, and so did he. He literally dove in the friggin' Bay of Fundy, that stupid saltwater current, and he retrieved that friggin' Drake eider from I don't know how far down. It felt like he was underwater for like ever. It was probably, I bet it was probably 8 to 10 seconds. He was gone. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, is he dead? Because there's a lot of current there. You know where that ferry runs? Like, there's a lot of current. He literally dove for 8 to 10 seconds, and all I remember seeing was his brown head and that white friggin' eider coming up out of the water, and I was like, holy fuck. I said, that is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
that was a good one.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I was absolutely dumbfounded.
And, you know,
that will probably stand as the all-time craziest retrieve I'll ever see. I mean, I don't know how you could beat that on land, really, or in a pond. I mean,
there's only a certain amount of dogs that will do that too, submarine and go under the water. You know?
And he'd always pick up rocks of all things off the river bottom, or like standing there, but he's never like he swam deep, down in the water, in the ocean water, with his eyes open, and friggin' tracked that son of a bitch or followed it in underwater. Like I couldn't believe it, and then he came up with it. I was like, holy shit.
Crazy,
unbelievable.
The perseverance that they have, and you know, honestly, like sometimes the way my memory is for things, like, you know, we get talking about stuff like that's not something that would have came to the forefront of my mind. That retrieve that you talked about, you know what I mean?
I remember that.
But there's been a lot, and thank God for videoing.
Oh yeah,
or the things that you know what I mean, like.
You couldn't remember it all.
You couldn't, and if you're somebody that carries a phone in your pocket, especially an iPhone, like, you should be filming.
Yeah.
Keeping those, having those memories. You know what I mean?
Like the biggest things that stand out for me over all the years is with you and your dogs is the long friggin' pin, like just a dart right to it, long retrieves, and then with me with Jace. I can't remember how many times he would disappear over a hill or into the woods after a cripple, just on his own, and track the son of a bitch down, and here he comes back over the hill or out of the woods with a friggin' goose.
There was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we got back to the trucks. We'd parked a couple hundred yards away, and there was blood on somebody's vehicle.
On mine.
Yeah, and a few minutes later, he come out of the woods with a dead duck.
Still alive.
Yeah, still alive, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We shot.
That would have been an hour or more after the hunt.
Who knows
and
how?
Hundreds of yards from the hunt.
Yeah, we're standing there looking. How the frig did blood get in my car?
Yeah, that was no command. He wasn't.
No. That was just pure genetics and instincts. He just got to the car, smelled blood, cracked down, and
that was a good one too. One of my favorites. I can say it was my favorite now, but one of my favorites was the time that friggin' remember we were hunting with the Newfoundlanders, Steve, when all those, that was 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I sent him out for a bird, or just sent him out into the decoys because I knew we had more. And one had, it was just kind of on the other side of a knoll, and it had run to the right probably 60 yards or 70 yards from where it had originally dropped. And when he went out there, you could see that he knew that there had been a bird there, and then it flapped to the right. And holy shit, he took off after that, and he must have been going, I don't know how fast, full speed, fast as he could run, never slowed down a bit, and tried to catch the bird on the way by. And I think he did touch it or hit it, but anyway, he rolled, I don't know how many times, ass over tea kettle.
That's always fun, the dog. Him, Tank, and Jace both. They were both hard hitters. They'd run wide open and just poof, they like to pound birds.
That video got over 2,000 likes on TikTok.
Well, that's
Are we
good.
going to get into these beans?
Get into them.
Probably
Spicy
should.
dilly beans. Get it.
I cannot believe that she doesn't have a ring on those.
Don't
What a
know.
rebel.
Rebel canner.
Rebel canner, yeah.
That's
that
your new
should be-
TikTok name.
That's her handle.
Yeah.
I guess while we're eating here, we could.
Holy jeez, taking a drink of this spicy dilly juice.
Henry Arsenault, he wants to know if he can use geese for fuel in his truck. Anything that eats that much corn has to be an ethanol substitute. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's a good
I think
question.
it's valid actually. So
Yeah.
we're holding on to quite a precious resource.
Maybe we should start rendering down the fat and burning biodiesel.
Probably
Yeah.
could really.
Man, those late season geese, what a difference in fat.
Super
Like
fat.
you're talking like quarter inch of fat.
Just down around their
and
stomach.
yellow and yeah. Compared to those early season geese,
These beans are delicious.
homegrown.
Pass around.
Well, I will just gotta eat half the bottle.
I,
for
so I brought 2 bottles, one for Wes, one for everybody
Old
else.
dirty dick beater.
Yeah,
all through
that's
there.
what you gotta do.
How's your
Just give Wes his own bottle.
how's your beans, Julien?
Oh, not as good as yours, obviously. Nobody sent me none.
Yeah.
Steve,
Sarah said she'd sell you some. Give you
Yeah.
a good deal.
good. Good.
That's dirty. Barry Kicks said, let's talk about the changes over the years. Julien, since you're not stuffing your face like us, we'll let you start. Pick one thing,
Those are so good.
point,
Change it.
over the years. Yeah, changes. What's something that has changed?
Well, the gear, obviously. And the amount of birds. Amount of birds, probably the biggest. From 20 years ago, when I used to hunt, when I started hunting with Matt, to now, it's probably the amount of birds. Like, we'd find a field with like 150, and you were onto something, right?
Yeah.
That was a big
And
field.
now, yeah, and now 150 birds is you try to find something better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You hunt it if you got to, but it's last resource basically.
way back in the day, I remember a field of 300 was like all time.
Yeah.
That was like,
Oh.
holy shit. Now it's like a field of 3,000
Yeah,
is what that is.
We've had some ridiculously full fields this year. And
Yeah.
even last year. Like
Oh, they were concentrated for sure.
just a couple times randomly.
Anyone want the garlic or the pepper? So what do we do with this now, Steve, where
Usually
we don't
pour
have
it
a
out.
lid?
Put some vodka in it.
Yeah, put some vodka in it, shoot it.
That's what old Gryba always did. Pickle juice.
A lot of people are on the pickle juice.
Yeah.
Say that it's good for you.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You're right, Julien. There, the gear and the amount of birds and you know, the amount of hunters too. I mean, we definitely noticed that in our area. You know,
Yeah.
when you first started coming up, there was like nobody around.
No.
Yeah, like 3 groups of people maybe,
Yeah.
and none that did it hard.
And do you
like
think
weekend.
it's easier for people to start hunting now than it was like 50 years ago or 30 years ago?
50?
Well,
How old do you think we are, boy?
I didn't say that. Like, back when you guys would have started, like, what would you have needed to just go out in the field with a dozen decoys and shoot a limit of geese?
Well, you couldn't get decoys like you can now. I mean, you could make them,
Yeah.
and a lot of people did. But now people would never make them. They'd just buy like silhouettes or something like that. But
Plywood silhouettes.
the Tiger's got a whole bunch of them.
Do you still have your
Oh.
stuffer? Your stuffers?
Jag.
No, I took them all apart.
Yeah.
I have the bodies. But
Should make some more sometime.
yeah,
Get right on that.
first one took me
Kevin
forever.
Duncanson. Kevin Duncanson's got like 100.
Does he?
All the PEI guys had friggin' stuffers.
Yeah, he's from Truro. he's got a whole jag.
Yeah.
They're they're a lot of work,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, he's got a whole trailer. He's got like a trailer like you've got, Matt, just for his stuffers.
Mm.
And that's what you need.
I think Glenn Gillespie used to have a trailer too, full of stuffers.
I
Yeah.
think he still does, doesn't he?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. I thought he got rid of them all. I thought he had was the silhouettes. I thought.
I haven't been over to his house for a few years, so he might have
Who
gotten rid
knows?
of it.
Yeah.
Possibly, but
You don't hunt geese that much anymore.
no.
More of a
No,
big geese
no.
hunter now.
He's chasing his kids around. They play a lot of sports and stuff, so
Yeah.
he's into that. And he likes to come over to New Brunswick and Nova Scotia to go deer hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, oh, what were those friggin' goose chairs? They were probably the first kind of layout blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an evolution for sure.
Yeah. And then we get into actual layout blinds, and now we're into friggin' panel blinds and stuff like that. That's been a big change, and we're still on that. But
The panel
Yeah.
blinds are the way to go. If you get the money to do it, I mean, no matter what, how often are you hunting by yourself, waterfowl hunting?
yeah,
So even if you're hunting by yourself, you're still, you still got a few $100s in one single layout. You might as well just spend a few bit more and have enough to bring your buddies with you and
be able to shoot
sit up
standing
straight.
up,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. The thing about it is if you're getting into it now and you think that you got to have a panel blind and you do have to have all that stuff, like we've killed geese like every way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't need a trailer. You don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of decoys. You can keep it pretty damn simple and do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be doing it on a larger scale, as far as the amount of time you're gonna be putting into it, well, then it makes more sense to make a big investment. But even still, there's lots of days where we keep her pretty damn simple if we can.
How many limits of ducks did we shoot in my SUV, my RAV? You know?
Yeah.
Last year we used it when your truck was down there.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just rolled the windows down
Yep.
and
yeah, right out of it.
just drove by. And,
Parked at the snowbank, shot the ducks as they come over. But no, just whatever we could grab for decoys, and threw it in the back, and that's what we had.
One panel blind.
decoys.
yeah.
That's why I want a RAV4 so bad, because it's so simple. I mean, you can throw how many dozen silhouettes in the back and a panel blind, a couple guns, and you're good to go.
Well, and the good thing about it, as long as it doesn't get soaking wet, you can just leave it right in there.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't have to truck. You got to take it out and store it somewhere. It'll
Yeah.
get
Or
soaked.
just like for somebody young like you, Rowan, just a layout blind.
Yeah,
couple.
exactly.
You could get a couple. Like I still have my power hunt. Those power hunters were my favorite as far as a low profile goes. But man, stuff like that, it doesn't take up a whole lot of room, and you could jam a ton of silhouettes in there.
Yeah. That's like, I was talking to Hunter, one of my buddies. We're going to try to do probably some goose hunting early season next year.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get out around, just scouting is a big thing. Like we don't have the money to drive around all day looking for birds all the way up in Florensville and Heartland area.
Here's something we don't either.
That's right.
You'll learn these things.
Yeah, that's so. Newsflash: neither do we.
Yeah.
You want to be broke? Become a waterfowl hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to be a millionaire, start off as a billionaire and waterfowl hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get
Yeah,
there.
but I mean, those are pretty humble beginnings, for you guys. Like, there's a lot more gear out there now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like, yes, we have a trailer and we have a lot of gear in it, and would we have that whether we guide it or not? Yeah, we would. But it's as the season goes on, the later it gets. Exactly like Steve said, if we can throw 3 dozen silhouette duck decoys in the bag and one blind and a few chairs, like that's what we do. We keep it super simple.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, let's be honest, if you can do it that way, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Especially late in the year, right? You're trying to keep it simple. It's hard to get in. You got to pack your stuff in sometimes. We're not dragging snowmobiles and things like that out there. We're just gonna hoof it.
Next year we should try in one of those afternoon hunts just for shits and giggles, hunting out of layout blinds.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
What kind of crazy talk is that, Wes?
It's retro.
How's your back?
Retro.
Back doing.
Yeah, go back in time, do some of the old stuff.
It would be,
How about
you know,
Wes hunts out of the layout and the rest of us sit in the panel blind?
We all laugh at him struggling to get up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
He'll sit in the back, video out of a friggin' out of a layout.
I know Andrew Dath out west there, that Alberta's Fall Flight. They shoot a ton of birds, and they only hunt out of
a
layout
lot of
blinds.
guys still hunt out of layout blinds. It's dive bomb guys shoot hunt out of layout
Yeah, you don't
blinds.
feel that would limit your clientele? Like, there's a lot of guys that come with us that, you know what I mean? Like, older guys, in their 60s, 70s even.
Or
you
big
know.
guys.
Yeah,
it
big
would.
guys.
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But
the
they
A-frame's
got-
so nice.
They got their place, right?
Yeah.
100% got their place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tool, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
every tradesman's got several tools. When you need that certain tool, you have it, right?
Yeah.
You need an arsenal. It's like your decoys. Like we have silhouettes. We love them. We don't always use them. We have full bodies. We love them. We don't always use them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we use them together. Sometimes we just use silhouettes. And the great thing about our silhouettes is they're timeless. You know what I mean? They've
Yeah.
been around forever. You know that they're proven. You know that they work.
Those new big owls he's got, there's been a few times where, like, shoot that single, and I'm like, which one is it?
Which one is it? Yeah, that's why they got holes in them. That's why we got a bunch of the new ones.
That's the new Waterfowl East Limited Edition perforated. They don't blow over in the wind. So
You jump up and you're looking, and you're like, is it that one over there? And, they
yeah,
look good.
I caught myself looking at a silhouette and being like, oh shit, that's not a goose.
One thing about Al, he makes a good product. He's a great guy, and his stuff's only getting better. It's only looking more realistic.
Oh, the Bully series that you've got, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Top notch.
realistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that we've seen
So,
that came in way back in the day, but we didn't have before, is spinning wing decoys.
Yeah.
yeah, they got their place too. They don't work around
I've got
here
one in the
anymore.
basement. Pull cord spinning wing goose.
Well, they don't work
bees.
now, but they sure as hell did when they come out.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
They were like
100%.
murder on ducks.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
What are pull cord spinning wing decoys?
It's just got elastic band, so when you pull the cord, it pulls the band out, and you let it go, it spins back. So it's like a Mojo without a motor, manual motor.
It's an Amish mojo. Back when
I've got a
Steve
couple.
had a chin strap.
I've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Brother Steven, and I have an Amish spinning wing decoy and a chin strap.
Steve has a bunch of decoys that are useless.
Yeah,
Classic.
just like him.
Classic.
Yeah.
I think Steve needs to bring back the chin strap next fall.
Yeah.
I think
The
definitely.
mustache.
Listen, I was so disappointed that you didn't have a mustache.
I needed more preparation. I needed to know ahead of time. So I could
Okay,
grow
well,
it
I'm
out.
telling you
You
right
I'll
now.
go
knew
for next
months
year.
ahead, Steve. You knew months ahead that we were going to
Hey,
shave
It
my
takes a long time to grow this thing out.
I'm telling you
There,
right
I
now.
just said no, and that's what happened.
That's probably
Yep.
you're probably right, Julien. You're probably right. And I'm telling you right now, it's January.
Brad too.
Brad too.
I think we need to see Brad with a mustache.
He's got one hell of a beard on.
Great big red mustache. Could you imagine?
He looked like Sylvester the cat.
Great big old friggin' ginger dirt stash.
January 26th, 2024, 7:54. Stephen,
Let it be henceforth known,
let it be henceforth known on this day.
in the year of our Lord in 2024,
We'll do mustaches this year.
mustaches will be mandatory.
Mustache 2024. Just so everybody knows. Paul McKinnon,
Yep.
we know you're listening.
Yeah. That guy needs a friggin' dirty stash.
He does. He'd grow one nice and thick. It'd be 4
He
inches
would.
tall.
Great big giant caterpillar mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a slight curl on the bottom.
Yeah. Wee wee. I think that would look good. Do we have any other new questions that have come in? Because that's it on the list.
It is, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've hit the list. The hit list.
Oh, Walt Vesey.
Oh, what's Walt saying?
Thanks for the question, Walt. What brand of razors do you guys use to maintain that well-groomed look you are all so well known for?
Well, I never shave, so I don't have a damn razor. Maybe if my wife's leg razor's kicking around, I might trim up. I don't know what it is.
I haven't used an actual razor, and
You use clippers?
I just use electric ones.
Yeah, I just use
The same one, the same one,
Same,
the,
yeah.
the lawnmower, the same one you do your balls.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be for everything, right?
Yeah.
Guarantee that
Head
that
to
guy's
toe.
shaving his face with his nutsack clippers. Guaranteed.
I've got 2 different ones.
No,
In the
you
opposite-
definitely shave your face with your nutsack
In
clippers.
the opposite order. Look at him.
Hey,
you can't even
I
lie.
do.
Look,
have
his
a
face is
lawnmower.
red.
I do have a lawnmower. Works great.
Yeah, on your chin.
It does work. No, it doesn't. It doesn't cut that. They don't cut that close. Just like you need
Like
to have
it
an
will-
actual electric razor.
Well, how
to
do you
cut
know that?
Skin tight. Because I've used it.
On your face.
I've used it everywhere.
I get the old Timbits shaved out of my arse crack, he says, and then I do my face.
Yeah, in that order. Only in that order.
He just gives her a little sniff check. Yeah, it's good.
Rinse some water under it. They're waterproof. Do it all.
Well, me and Matt went to barbers this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
To Tyrell.
Went to, yeah. No. Went to,
Professionally done.
yeah. Yeah. I went to Cutthroat.
Yep.
I went to Aaron though.
Okay.
Speciality. He was the one who looked after mine. So yeah, the barber is who does my
Yeah.
face, and I'll tell you right now, he's not happy that it's not there anymore. He's quite upset.
He
Anytime-
looks like a guy that would like a nice mustache.
Oh, he's like he said
That's an outstanding mustache, Matthew.
when I first came in, it was quite long. I'm like, Aaron, we're making a mustache, okay? Like the movie Tombstone. This is who I want to look like. And he's it's the end of the day, and he looks at me in the mirror. He goes, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That just made my year." So he went right up the middle, right first thing. So I had these big Japanese chops hanging off both sides, and we laughed to kill ourselves.
I'll tell you what, the man that had the mustache of the year, though, was your brother, Scott. He sent a picture of that friggin' deer that he shot, and I was like, holy shit, mustache. Like, that was a Tom Selleck, Burt Reynolds friggin' mustache of all mustaches. It was the king. That was incredible, man. That looked like unbelievable. That's all you could see in that picture was like, holy fuck, look at that mustache.
Oh, it went clear out his face. Eh?
And it's about 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
That was the most epic mustache I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Holy, that took me right back to 1984.
Yeah, it was good.
Good night. Like, look at that thing.
Yeah, oh, it was a good mustache. Aaron did his too, I think.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that is a mustache.
He
right
said,
there.
after you posted that picture of you with that mustache, Matthew, he said, there was 3 other guys come in here and said, I got to get a mustache like Wilson.
Yeah.
Like,
The old
yeah.
mustache.
Yeah.
Greg.
Julian's was fucking deadly.
He looked like, he just looked like a biker.
He did.
Yeah, he really
Looked like
I
Hulk
went to the
Hogan.
barber. I had a great big beard going. I went to the barber. I said, I want the most ridiculous mustache that you can shave.
He did this job.
So-
He did the job.
So he friggin' starts cutting it, right? And I could see him. I'm looking in the mirror, and he's laughing behind me, right? Shaving it and laughing. I'm like, well done. And when he got done, he's like, fuck Hulk Hogan. So we had done a good job. I was like, yeah.
Rowan, you going to have a mustache for next year? Or you just hoping it grows in? Or?
I'm just hoping I get something growing on my face first, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
from there.
I'll tell you something. You don't have much for genetics there.
Well, I don't know. Look at it. Look at your brother. You couldn't be any more opposite.
Yeah.
Scott's got like a mega beard and like the ultimate mustache.
Yep. I couldn't grow one. I couldn't grow a beard.
No, I don't grow much of one.
I see your high
Grows
school.
all Joe Dirty. Matt grows all Joe Dirty. on
Steve
him.
and I, we're gonna have it'd be a similar mustache. It's pretty shitty thin, and
You just need a little maiden oil.
I see his high
you're
school
growing.
pictures. And
like if I was gonna have to do a mustache to look like anything, I'd have to grow it out and then curl it.
You should though. You should have a mustache, man.
See, I wasn't in on the mustache deal.
Just the French mustache.
Yeah, the
When it
French
comes out,
mustache.
those little
I'd have.
curls, yeah.
That's about because I mean I'm like you, man. I don't got much of an upper
Yeah.
lip here.
They're not a lot.
Like Scott, he must from the bottom of his nose to the bottom of his lips got to be 3 inches. Like, that lip was built for a mustache. Holy frig,
I'm just gonna go back here.
that was hilarious.
I'm just gonna go back and find that while we're talking there. Yeah, that was a good question.
That was a banger.
A lot of really good questions there.
Yep.
I'm really thankful that everybody reached out and did that. I'm just looking for this video here. Of my mustache.
Wasn't there an episode of Family Guy where Peter Griffin was on mustaches? I'm
Oh,
looking.
yeah.
I'm looking at you, Steve, because you're a
Probably.
cartoon
Yeah,
guy.
I've watched a lot
With
of
great mustache comes great responsibility.
Yeah. With great mustache. Yeah, I remember that.
That's awesome.
Like, look at that.
Search that up.
That's a thick mustache right there.
Yeah, you got a good mustache there. You got that big upper lip. A lot of meat there between your lip and your nose.
Yeah.
That's good for carrying a big mustache.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of Family Guy mustache references.
Just search with great mustache comes great responsibility. That's a good way to end the podcast.
It was definitely a mustache season though. When you showed up with that one, Julien, I was
That
like,
picture, the picture of the first day I showed up, we took a picture, me and you.
Yeah.
It was epic.
It looks like you should have rode in on a Harley.
Every place I stopped, people would give me looks there, and I'm like, yeah.
What kind of Harley you ride?
Yeah. Yeah.
With great mustache comes great responsibility.
Frig. That's epic. Well, gentlemen, it's been a good talk.
yeah, great talk. Thanks everybody very much for posting your questions. Maybe we'll do that again next time.
Yeah, if you got anything you want us to talk about, let us know. It'll be a couple weeks.
Or anybody
recording
that
again.
you think would be valuable to have on here.
A valued guest.
Julien was our call in this time. Nice to have you on here, Julien. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to be on here.
And if
Good to be on.
everybody would just send this to one person too, get it spread around a little bit.
Share it around.
Share.
Spread the word.
Yeah. Put your notifications on so it gives you a little ding-a-ling when we put one on there. Follow us on wherever you watch or listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Watch our TV
Probably
show.
lose viewers if you decided to start broadcasting, I imagine.
Watch our TV show.
Look at YouTube
Northeast
every day.
Untamed, Tuesdays at 9:30. Check us out on social media. Watch some of our old YouTube videos.
Yeah, get on the YouTube and watch our videos on there. YouTube's really giving everybody kind of a kick that's in hunting. So be nice to get that rolling again. So
Yeah.
we still do a lot of
We
videos.
need to up the subscriber count. We've been at 12,800 and something for a long while. We need to bump that up a bit. But YouTube and social media really censors any type of hunting or anything to do with guns. So it's basically in order for us to grow on there or anywhere, it's got to be through word of mouth. So give it a share, post it up in your story, get people listening to the podcast, YouTube, TV, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it
Absolutely.
from the bottom of our buttholes.
To all 7 of you that are listening,
Yeah.
thank you for your time.
We love you. Right on, gentlemen. It's been a good one.
Hell yeah.
Julien, stay on the line. We'll talk.
Yep. Sounds good, brother.